Hey up there, it's me, your crotch. My living conditions down here are deplorable. The itch and burn are too much. Scrub me with medicated Fungi Cure Wash when you shower and say hasta la vista to jock itch. Get Fungi Cure Wash at Walmart and Rite Aid. Do it now!
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey kids, not a surprise. Look outside. It looks like rain again. Shocker. Oh my God, I don't know where the rest of you are living and breathing in this world today, but let me just say, if I have to look at rain one more time, I think I'm going to puke. Makes a person not want to live in Wisconsin. Thank you very much. I'm so very excited today because I'm able and ready and prepared to deal with this awesome new band that I found out about. Thank you so much to Joyce because, of course, one of my lovely PR folks is the reason why I'm able to interview these fellows today. And I have to tell you, it's an honor. First of all, they're doing something that I find hugely admirable, which is, of course, they are releasing a music video on World Mental Health Awareness Day, which to those of you that don't know is October 10th of this year, which would be next week. The name of the song that they have, or excuse me, I should say the music video is called Take Me In. As I said, it's being released on October 10th, and they are working with an organization called 8west.org. And if those of you are unfamiliar, they're in the San Diego area. They have both a job program along with supportive housing and critical care. They obviously help the homeless and those affected by mental health issues to not only get better, but to also get back on their feet. So obviously this is a hugely vital step in terms of being able to help other individuals in the homeless world, help those with mental health issues. So I'm extremely proud to be able to present them to the world. A couple quick notes before they call in. We're going to have 3 out of the 4 band members. Unfortunately, Chelsea can't be with us today. So Jesse and Andrew and Brad, all 3, they'll be on. The key player, the drummer, and of course the singer/guitar player, which is awesome. So don't want to forget a couple of different things. First of all, we have, let me just take a look and see. I don't have a book show as of yet for tomorrow, but it looks like Vanessa Weiss hopefully will be coming back on. We were originally supposed to be casting, or I should say having her on the show last week, and she is going through transgender reconstruction. And so she has an Indiegogo campaign, or I should say a GoFundMe campaign, excuse me, to be able to provide for making sure that she can pay for her surgery. To those of you that are unfamiliar with doing transgender work/reconstructive work, it's difficult because there's tons of medical expenses. Insurance basically doesn't cover it. And obviously she has spent well over 30 years of her life living as an individual who has just been living as part of herself, but not 100% herself. So hopefully with any luck at all, there'll be an opportunity for her to live life as a female instead of a male, to be comfortable in her own skin, and I'd like to be able to help her. She's been a longtime friend of mine, and obviously, as we all know, I utilize my show for good. I utilize my show to be able to help other individuals. So I will have confirmation on that hopefully later today with any luck at all, crossing fingers on that one. So we'll have to see about that. A couple other announcements in case those of you haven't noticed. Phil Marish has been on my page every day, and there's a reason for that because he is in literally on a heart transplant list and continuing to stay on that heart transplant list. Our hope and expectation is that he'll be able to find a heart, that he'll be able to have the surgery, and all will go well. He's a dear friend of mine, and both himself and Amber are working diligently and very hard to try to maintain his insurance and his household and keep him in one piece. So I'm trying to do every single thing that I can to be able to help them. One of the main reasons, or I should say one of the main ways that we do so is we're going through with not only the GoFundMe account where individuals can go ahead and they donate that way, but I, of course, am selling my truffles. I'm going to be auctioned off, etc. And we're going to be doing a bunch of other things. So whenever you see it on my page, all I ask is if you cannot donate, please share. If you cannot do that, at least try to get the word out, try to help other people. Obviously, it's vital and crucial that he keeps his insurance, which is a large expense. It's crucial that it's important. And we all know why, because we had the interview. It looks like apparently we've had an issue here with our guests. If you hold on for just 1 second, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see if I can't get all 3 of them on. Apparently we're having some confusion in terms of what number they should be calling in to the show, which is why Everybody just hold on real tightly, and we will go ahead and see if we can't get them all on the air at the exact same time. It's a little frustrating. But these things happen sometime in the world of radio between publicists and myself, et cetera. It's one of those things. One of the other things that I wanted to mention to everybody is that we have had an issue lately with bookings and things like that, just to make it clear to everybody, because I've been trying to let everyone know this. We have had an ongoing, well, I should say I'm constantly being pitched to come on the show, and that's perfectly fine. I absolutely love hosting new talent. I'm always very excited to have people on the show. However, as it stands right now, it looks like mid-November is probably the first time that I have for us to be coming in, or for individuals to be coming on the show. I know that that's a little frustrating for some that have projects and other things that they wish to push, and so I try to make it as easy as possible for individuals to get on the show. I am somewhat accommodating in terms of how or when I can do it, but obviously, of course, been having some issues with trying to fit everybody in, and I feel badly about that just because of the fact that, I'm only one person. So with any luck at all, we'll be able to get everybody in that needs to come in to the show and needs to get their I'm just doing the best that I can. So without further ado, if you guys give me about 2 minutes, it looks like we're going to be able to finally get these guys on the show. And like I said, unfortunately, it becomes frustrating that there's communication issues sometimes between publicists and myself. Obviously, in this particular case, my guests were calling me instead of calling into the show. So if you give it another minute or two, hopefully with any luck at all, we should be perfectly fine. Forgive me for all this rambling on and on and on for the first 8 minutes. It's a little embarrassing, but we'll get to them. Obviously, like I said, to those that have followed me for a long time that know me, it goes without saying that I am a huge proponent for any sort of mental health issue, any sort of advocacy for mental health, because obviously I'm a 30-year bipolar patient myself. I've been very vocal about that. I have very large concerns about my own family, how we deal with that. And what's really neat about this project is the fact that they're taking on homeless individuals with mental illness. And to those of you that are unfamiliar with this, in fact, they're coming on. So let's talk to them and we'll get some information. Hello.
Hi, Cindy. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Is this Jesse or is this everybody?
Well, this is everybody. It's Jesse. I'm the lead singer guitarist. We have Brett.
Hello.
And then
Hi.
Andrew.
Hi, Cindy.
That's right.
I play drums.
It's all three of you except for Chelsea, right? Because Chelsea can't be with us today.
Yep.
Okay, that's
Right.
what I figured. I have to apologize. I feel so badly because I know you guys were calling me, and I'm like, oh, no, I had thought for sure that I had given Joyce the actual call-in number. So I'm sorry about that. I've been kind of rambling on for the last 5 minutes. Like, oh, my God, where are these guys? And sure enough, here you are. So thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you on my show. I know a lot about you guys because I've researched you. I creeped on you for the last 24 or 48 hours. I know things about you guys. So I'm going to ask. You're going to like this. You're going to love it. Okay, so I want you to tell my listening audience, we have about 58,000 people that listen to my show, so we have a nice-sized crowd, so I kind of jumble around, and in the time that I have, I want to talk about, obviously, your video, Take Me In, but before that, I want to give kind of a background of all you guys, your band, etc. But the first thing I want you to tell everybody, because this is way kick-ass, I saw a picture. I want you to tell your listening audience what you guys require for your green room, because I think it's totally cool.
Oh,
in the cooler? The cooler picture?
Cooler,
yeah, I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, we played a show, and there was a few bands that were with us, and they all had, like, pastries, and they had coffee
Sure.
and a really nice setup. And then we looked in our cooler, and it was just Coronas, and that was it. No water, nothing else.
That is so cool. I know, I saw that.
By the way, they were mini chorus Coronas. Yeah.
Oh my God!
We looked at theirs so that they had like a whole breakfast, and we were like, we should probably ask for more things next time.
Oh, that is way cool. No, that's awesome though. You were kind of like that rock star sort of thing. Yeah, we get some booze in our cooler, and this is awesome. And I think that's so neat. I've seen that some of your bandmates play with absolutely no shoes on, which is awesome because it gives it the total beach / Bob Marley sort of feel, which I think is cool. I saw, and I have a question. It looks like the band was formulated in 2013, which means you've been together for a few years now, and you have played extensively from what I can see all over the place. So my very first question to you is, kind of give us a bit of a background on the band, meaning were you all friends to begin with? Did you kind of haphazardly fall together? How did this unity come to be?
So I met Brad actually. I had a different members of the band before, and I met Brad. He came to one of my shows, and we added Brad on as a keyboardist, and we started playing some more gigs, and then we through some, people had to go on some careers in different bands, and so we auditioned Andrew and Chelsea, both at the same time actually, which are bass and drums, and we just grew and fell into each other's lives kind of all at the right moment, and just right away felt this electric energy between each other, and just kind of the rest was just history, man. We just knew it was the right fit for everybody.
Oh, that's amazing. And I can see that, just so you folks know that are listening in. I have watched your performances on video, and I've watched, you perform, and there's a very cool chemistry. There's no other real author way to put it except that. You have a very cool chemistry. You have a vibe between all of you, which I'm sure you already know this. It brings off a lot of energy and enthusiasm to your crowd, which I'm sure you've seen. One of the quotes that I picked up that I really liked was, you said, emotion in every note, a message in every song. Who came up with that? And talk to your listening audience a little bit about why it's important that your band emulates that image in the course of your song.
I think it was probably me, and I don't know. It's just a difference. I don't even know how to put it really into words, but everybody's probably seen, a band, like a local band or, whatever that band is, but when you just kind of don't believe what they're doing or believe that they're feeling what they're playing or, anything like that. Music is such a spiritual thing, and I mean, for thousands of years, it was what we, back to tribes with drums in the jungle, a way to really connect to yourself and connect with the people around you and spiritually to, whatever you believe in. And that's the truth, and that's what music is, and so that's what we really believe when we are playing, whether we're on stage or writing or anything.
I don't know that it's something that to emulate as much as it is, just the way we believe in something that we live, as opposed to really emulate in terms of that's how we make music. Yeah.
So like a mantra, if you will. Which is really cool because, I see all these different and of course you're in California. To those that don't know, they're in San Diego, California. You're not a New York person, and typically a lot of people that I talk to are from New York, and I notice that there's a different feel for things in California versus New York versus other places. I see that. I have to ask this question because you guys probably don't notice this, but you're all very attractive. Did you do that on purpose? Because you sound really good and you look really good. And I'm like, was that convenient?
Yeah,
did you purposely we all can be hot?
We had a bunch of ugly people that tried out, actually, and we had to kick them out. We just couldn't.
Oh, my gosh. No, but seriously, have you looked at your pictures? I'm like, oh, my gosh, I saw all these different press pictures and things like that, and I was like, they're really, really, really a nice-looking, nice-sounding band. Do you know what I mean? I mean, and sometimes that's, cosmetically speaking, you look great and everything, but you do. I mean, you're a really nice-looking bunch of folks. Because I have a lot of fans, you're quite welcome. Since I have a lot of fans, they all want to know the question, and I have 3 out of the 4 on here, so I got to go one by one and ask. There's some chicks that dig you, so show of hands, who's single and who's not?
Andrew,
I had to do it. Sorry, they come to me.
Andrew's our drummer.
Yeah.
And, he's in the back, just looking good. He's ready to.
So Andrew, therefore I have a question for Andrew, and this is a good question actually, because I'll tell you, as the radio show host, the father of my children, actually, my last 2 children, was a drummer, and he used to always say to me, "Oh, the girls never notice the drummer." Clearly, this girl noticed the drummer, but I'm just curious, Andrew, do women actually notice the drummer? Or are they all about like that guitar player? Because guitar players are cool too.
I think it's definitely a two-way street, and I'm definitely noticed, but I don't mind not being noticed a fair amount of the time. I feel like, I feel like if they don't notice me, that's just as good because I'm doing, I feel like, what the drummer should be doing. And I'm filling my role, and I'm just kind of a supporting role, which is fine. In some ways, I think it's
you
great.
are.
And
Absolutely. I got you.
He's being modest.
Yeah. If I get noticed, then great, and I know how to get noticed. So I mean, I think I'm okay.
Oh my
with it.
gosh!
I think I'm okay with where we're at.
Gotcha. I understand. I've seen you all, like I said, so no further explanation needed. Apparently, so is my audience. Clearly. Since Chelsea is not here, obviously, talk to us a little bit about Chelsea Baker. Tell us what she contributes to the band, of course. Just tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, Chelsea, she came, it was the same time as Andrew, and when we kind of met with her, it was pretty funny. She was introduced through, like, a mutual friend right as I was like, hey, I'm looking for a bass player. He was like, well, I met this chick last night, and she just told me that she really was looking for a band to play bass in. She just moved down here. So it couldn't have been more perfect. So, I just kind of gave her a call. She came to the practice. We all rocked out together. And, I mean, the first time that we all played, like Jesse said, it was just electric energy in the room. It was really cool. And then she had this massive bass rig that was literally like the size of a fridge. And so she said she was going to leave it at the place, and we were kind of like, yeah, we'll let you know if we're gonna, what we're gonna do. And she, in the typical girl fashion, we like that she left her stuff at our place so she could come pick it up later. But we ended up,
my gosh,
absolutely staying together and having a great time. She brings a really good energy, though. I mean, she brings this. She keeps us in line a lot of the time, too, but she also is an incredible bass player, has this massive stage presence if you've seen her playing live.
Yeah, I have.
I wouldn't expect that of Chelsea, just seeing it from, knowing Chelsea, her personality is very very coy and subtle, but when she gets on stage, it's just like this whole other person emerges, and it's such a cool thing to watch.
She goes from, the sweetest, most loving person into, a lioness with a bass. It's crazy.
That is too cute. I love it. That's awesome. Now, those that are listening in, I'm going to go through the rundown. Of course, Brad is on the keys, Andrew, of course, being on the drums, and then, of course, Jesse does singing and guitar playing. So, Jesse, I have a question directed at you. Of the two, I'm always curious to ask, is your heart more so in the singing component or playing guitar?
I'm sorry, could you ask that again?
No, it's okay. Out of the two, I usually like to ask cross talents, meaning do you gravitate towards one versus the other, meaning your heart's more with the singing component or with playing?
Well, I started as a guitarist, and I've always just had a knack for writing songs, and I just love playing guitar, and I just, always spent my time kind of writing my own music, and then, I started singing. I was in choir, in high school, and I was in another band, before this band, and I was kind of like the backup singer. And so my voice kind of developed over time. So I had the word "sing" tattooed on my wrist to remind me to always, take care of my voice and sing and be proud of that. So they both kind of fall in line with each other. But I would say that singing was a product of my guitar playing. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, just out of curiosity, when it comes to composition of song, when you put together a song, basically, is it the whole band? Is it one of you? Is it always a culmination of the four of you? Do you have a set practice when it comes to creating your music?
It differs from song to song. A lot of, I do, a majority of the writing. Brad and I do a majority of the writing. But sometimes I'll come into the band room with a song that I've completely formed out and written, and I'm like, you guys gotta hear this. There's times last night we got together for practice and we didn't plan anything, and man, we just back to back wrote 4 to 5 songs, just back to back. We were where's this energy coming from? And we just recorded them all on our phones, and we go back and listen to them, and we'll take pieces from those practices, and then we'll form them into songs. We have so many ideas come out of the four of us. It's almost like we don't have enough time to practice and get them all done.
Oh, well, that's not a bad thing to have, though. I mean, obviously, creativity that flows like that is absolutely amazing. Tell me something. If somebody listening in would ask themselves, okay, so their name is the Broken Stems, Why do we want to listen to their music? Why do we want to support them? What's different about you than the average, ordinary California band out there?
Oh, I think it goes back to that, believe in every note you play. And, whether we're playing for 5 people or for 100 people, we're going to put on the same performance.
Sure.
But there's something, the music for us, it's not about being the biggest band in the world. We have a really positive message that we want to send. I think at the core of us, that really comes out in our music and it really touches people. And I think that might separate us from some other bands you might see.
Now, I'm sure I'm not the only person to ever ask you this. The Broken Stems. And we have that name because...
Well, let's see. A stem is a foundation. And when your stem's broken, you have the opportunity to kind of build that foundation over again. We're always constantly moving and adding stems, and so it's kind of the idea and the notion that nothing's really ever perfect and it's always growing. And it's just constant evolution, really. Nice. Very nice. Who came up with that name? That's really cool. I did, yeah. I did it a while back, actually, way before I even met these guys. It's just kind of crazy. Okay. Yeah. I like it. It sticks. It works, actually. To give you guys a bit of a background, your first video, which was Hear You Calling, apparently was chosen in the 2016 iHeartRadio Rising Star competition. How did you guys do? How did you fare in that? Because I don't think I saw the end result. So where did you end up, or what happened?
We ended up in it was like the top 10. It was kind of weird. They just they didn't let us know, I guess, where everything totally ended outside of the winner. Really? I think it was 7 now. Yeah, it was like 7 in the competition. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it was awesome to be a part of, and part of a great group of artists that are definitely doing big things through 2016.
Oh, God, yeah. iHeart gets some of the best people out there, absolutely, and that's a testament to you guys. That's absolutely amazing. I mean, not that you need accolades necessarily. Just so you guys know that are listening in, they've been featured on Fox 5 San Diego, Tonight in San Diego, Vents Magazine, Vegas to LA Magazine, Social Magazine. Wow. You guys are gravitating a lot of attention. I was curious to ask about this because you've been all over the place. You've been interviewed, all sorts of things. If I were to ask you 5 years from now, the Broken Stems, where are they going to be at? What's their goal? When they grow up, where do they want to be at in terms of 5 years from now? Do you have set goals in mind or set things that you wish to accomplish over time as a band?
I have a personal goal, and we have band goals, and that's a big thing that we do. We sit down and make sure that we're seeing the same vision. I think that's important as a band, that we're moving together towards the same common goal, of what we want to be doing. But it's everything. I mean, we want to be touring the world. We want to be playing in front of huge crowds. We want to be spreading our message and getting people on board with what we want to say and, our ideas. I think that's a huge thing. But, yeah, we have big, lofty goals, and, it's a long haul to get there. I think, music is such an amazing way to spread a positive message, and any way that we can be serving that message is really what we see ourselves. We want to. That's really at the core of us. Yeah.
Oh no, I totally understand. I was going to say I could picture you guys on beaches everywhere, literally having a beach tour, starting in California and then going to Florida and jumping from beach to beach and literally playing on a beach all the time. Does that make sense? I could literally picture that in my head.
Great. Yeah, that does sound great. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's because I'm a beach chick, so I'm like, oh my God, would that be cool? That would be absolutely awesome, wouldn't it? It would be amazing. Definitely.
If we're talking about my main goal, my main goal is to be so successful with music that I'm always on a beach at all times.
Oh, who doesn't want that, man? That's awesome, right? Oh, my gosh. And chicks are running around half naked on a beach. Ain't going to hurt there, obviously. Just throwing that little thing out there. I noticed on your page, and, of course, I'm bringing this up because we're so close to the election and all. I saw the whole Bernie Sanders thing. How funny is that? And I saw that out there. So I'm curious, just to I've been asking all my guests this. Is it my imagination, or have things just gotten a little chaotic and a little crazy, and politics is kind of, I think unfortunately it's kind of putting a damper on everybody, so to speak. Things have you guys been noticing? It's just, there's a whole lot of cruelty and bad words and bad stuff going on in this whole political arena. And I guess my take is I'm kind of over the whole thing. But I'm always curious to ask my guests, where do you see things going here? I don't see a real positive light going on.
God, there's always positive light, I don't know. The weird thing, I really like Bernie Sanders. We like Bernie for the reason that, he believed that everyone was important. He said that, if there's a person suffering and not able to eat, like, that affects me, and I think that's a really important thing.
Right.
Whether there's policy and politics, and we're not really like a political band, but, I just love that value. Because we kind of feel like as musicians, it's our duty to like help raise the collective consciousness of the world, and I think that we're at a battle with that all the time and a struggle with that. So you see a lot of negativity coming from the politics and all the things going on in the world, but the reality is that there's just as much positivity going on, and it just depends what you want to focus your mindset on,
No, I agree. I definitely agree with you. Definitely, without a doubt. I can't wait till it's over. I know that sounds bad, but...
Seriously, I agree.
Well, really, seriously, I'm over it. That's exactly right. I would totally vote for you. That would be amazing. I could tell for the first 10 minutes I researched you guys. I'm like, I would have no problem hanging out with these folks. That's for sure. Because I'm kind of over it now. It's just I'm really over it. Yeah. All right, now, just in August, which wasn't so long ago, you guys had your CD release party. So how did everything go with that, and how has the response been to that CD?
Oh, we did. We actually are releasing it in, I guess it got pushed back probably, but we're releasing it in November 11th. Actually, we're going to be releasing that. So we're releasing a music video a new music video is going to be coming out Monday, and then we have a few more in store, and then that's also our full-length album is going to be coming out November 11th.
I gotcha. Yeah, because I saw a notation. I saw some notation on I think it was on your wall that it said that back in August that you had, unless it was someone else's CD release party, but I guess I was under the impression you guys had released something in August. I guess I'm wrong.
No, we were probably.
Well, so much for that.
I think we were going to, and then we pushed it back.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's fine. Then we don't have to talk about the August CD release that did not happen. Let's talk about this. I'm going to give some.
We could talk about.
Let's give some foreground.
Going to happen.
Well, for those in San Diego, it's going to be at the Ironic on December 3rd, and that's going to be our big end of the year blowout CD release party. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay. Oh, I bet, definitely. Now, tell me something. How will this CD vary in comparison to some of the other things that you've released in the past?
So this one we recorded a little bit differently too, and we went really DIY with this album. So I produced it and we recorded everything in our house, and so that's why. Okay. That 11/11 date is actually important to us. That was the address actually of the house that Jesse and I lived in when we recorded this, and it was done basically in a garage and this closet that we set up to be the vocal recording booth, and really just kind of had the time to spend like hours and hours. Really just adding to every single song, honing in, adding different instrument parts, harmonies, and writing this as well. So I think that it reflects the time that we spent on this in the album, which was literally I think a little over a year that we spent from start to finish of actual recording time, and then months before that was writing as well. So. It's a 10-song album with a lot of love in each song, definitely.
A lot of love.
Awesome. I'll have to wait for that invitation. That would be awesome because I would love to go. It would give me an excuse to go to California. I don't come there very much because you guys scare me. People in California are kind of scary sometimes. I don't know if you've noticed that. Seriously, I do a lot of work in the celebrity and film area, and I'm like, you people scare me, especially the celebrities. I'm like, some of them people scare me
San Diego.
a little bit.
Oh, you're talking about L.A.
Yeah.
Well, I am actually, and I wanted to ask you guys a question because I will be in San Diego at the end of this month. I am. Do you know where the Ultra Star Mission Valley Cinema is?
Yep.
Yeah.
You do. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to be at that film festival. There's a horror film festival at the end of the month, and I'm actually going to be in your neck of the woods. So I was like, I'm going to so ask those Broken Stem people if they're playing at the end of the month because I want to come and see you play while I'm there, physically, standing there. Like, they were on my show. I know them, kind of, sort of.
Andrew could be a +1 if there's a red carpet.
Yeah, true.
Really? I'm a panelist at this film festival, so I'm kind of curious to see what San Diego has to offer. I've never been to San Diego, so this is like the first time I've been to L.A. I've been to San Francisco, so this is I mean, what's San Diego like? Should I be nervous?
You're going to love it.
Are there weird people there?
No.
Are you just saying that?
Bring your sandals and some suntan lotion.
Oh, my gosh,
hey,
great.
You know what?
And lose 10 pounds.
What's amazing about people in San Diego is that they are just so happy to be where they are. And, you know, you just have people that just work and live just to be around the beach and to, you know, just do what they love. I don't know. It's just an amazing atmosphere.
Ooh, cool. So now I don't have to worry so much. Okay, yeah, I'm a little nervous. So I was like, I want to ask those guys and see, because if you're playing, I always try to get to see everybody that I've had on my show. I mean, because obviously if I'm a supporter of what you do, of course I want to watch you play. I just don't get there very often because you scare me. But now you've assured me, so I'm going to be okay. I think I can live in San Diego. We'll see. That's a couple weeks from now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is up when you're there. Definitely.
Yeah, without a doubt. I want to talk a little bit about, and I'll tell the listening audience this before I start to ask you questions. Obviously, as you guys started to mention, your release is on October 10th. The video is called Take Me In, and that coincides, of course, with World Mental Health Awareness Day. I'm going to have a couple different questions. Just to let everybody know, there's going to be a premiere party from 6 to 9 o'clock at 98 Bottles in San Diego that correlates, obviously, with the release of this. So the first question I want to ask you, and let me just intro this because most of the people that follow my show know I have been a mental health patient for 30 years. I'm a bipolar patient, and I have no issue with talking about that. So this is one of the number one reasons I wanted to have you on my show is to thank you as a patient, not as a host necessarily, first and foremost. It means a great deal to those of us in this world that live with this on a daily basis. And granted, I am not homeless, but nonetheless, I am still a patient. And so when people go out of their way to shine a light on this and to make a difference, it means a great deal to most of us. So in case you haven't heard from the world to you, we're very grateful for your efforts, and we appreciate that very much. So that was the first thing. Now, I had read that it took you a significant amount of time, meaning years, to actually write and plan this song and this video. So tell me, why is that? Was it due to the significance of the subject matter, or what? Was there a particular reason why this took more time than, let's say, other things?
No, I think it took a lot of time to do, just given, you know, who we are and our access to, you know, getting things done. So from being able to, you know, write a song to actually getting it, you know, professionally recorded and finished, and then trying to coordinate, you know, with the team and recording the vision, you know, on video, and then editing that together. There's just a lot of pieces that need to come together to make, you know, this, you know, the video ultimately is like a short film, you know. So to make that all kind of come together with the song, that, you know, it just definitely takes time. Given our resources and our, you know, our budgets and things like that.
Of course, I understand. Now, obviously, it's not being released yet, so there isn't a whole lot that I can say. So maybe we could give a small summarization, if you will, because I've seen it, and it's interesting because you mentioned this, and I agree. When most people watch this, the first time you're going to get one impression of what the story is about, and then you watch it again, and then you get another impression of what the story is about. I was curious to ask you, because I love the performances of the actors that were in the video. How did you find them, or were they friends of yours? Because they did an amazing job, especially the main gentleman in the video.
Yeah, we just luckily found. I mean, we were talking about the video, and we're like, all right, we got this new concept, and it's just, you know, we have a script written now, and I was like, well, we need someone to act. And so I hit my friend who lives in San Francisco, because we're not from San Francisco. We just went up there for the videographer, and she was like, yeah, I'm totally interested. And then I was like, well, do you know any male actors by chance? And she was like, yeah, you know what? And she sends me a picture of this guy, and I'm like, oh, my God, perfect. Like, this guy looks and fits the part perfectly. And the coolest part about the story is that those two actually used to date. So they had this kind of really unique chemistry that, you know,
oh
you
my
can't
gosh.
really teach someone, you know, like you can't really teach two strangers to act like they know each other and feel like that, you know. So it was really
sure.
It's pretty cool to see that chemistry take place over the course of the video. We filmed the whole thing in one day throughout San Francisco.
Oh wow. Oh
yeah.
my goodness gracious, yes. Now, oftentimes I tend to ask this question because I think it speaks volumes about it. Did you make the decision to make this video because the cause itself was personal to all of you, or how did you find yourself involved with this? Because, of course, you're collaborating with the organization 8west.org. So talk to me, A, the reason why you picked this subject in particular, and then second of all, how you became aligned with 8west.
Yeah, I think that it's an important subject. I mean, you know, just as far as homelessness, there's I guess a ton, you know, everywhere, and it's important that we, you know, wanted to shed a light on it, and then also, you know, with mental health, you know, 25% of, you know, a stat that, you know, we'd looked up and read, but 25% of the you know, homeless population suffers from some form of severe mental illness, and so when you look at that. Okay. You know, it's an important figure, an important thing to think about, you know, in general, and how that actually, you know, kind of ties into the story. We wanted to bring that light to it, and it fits a lot with kind of all of our vision as well as the videographer of what we wanted to tell with the song and the lyrics of what was happening. And then
they want that inspiration, man.
And then 8west. Also, so they're the charity arm of the Iron, where we're going to be playing our CD release show later. So they're actually an organization affiliated with the Iron X. So it gave us a chance. It was just kind of serendipitous that our, you know, what we were doing with our video and our message lined up with where we were going to be playing, which they're a big venue in San Diego. So that's kind of how we all got aligned with 8west and then the idea of the video too.
I gotcha.
And one of the cool things to add too is that, you know, as far as inspiration of the video, like, you know, Brad watched this cool video on YouTube of a man, a homeless man playing piano. It's just this piano virtuoso, and it kind of like blew up spiraling. And we were like, this is like such a cool story. And we kind of based the video around that, because, you know, it's amazing. You never know what a homeless person, you know, what their story might be. And, you know, and so it's, you know, we really wanted to like kind of focus on that and kind of bring awareness that, you know, you should never judge a book by its cover. You never know what someone's going through in their life. And you know, as you watch the video, you'll kind of realize where that, you know, you'll put together what that inspiration is. So.
Oh, you betcha. Oh, no, I totally get it, actually. As a matter of fact, I saw the statistic. It's about 3,000 plus people in San Diego alone that actually are sleeping in the streets. Sad but true.
Wow.
And according to the statistics here, I was looking it up, we have about 20 to 25% of homeless suffer from some form of mental illness. And in fact, mental illness itself is the third largest cause of homelessness. In fact, 46% of people live with mental health illness and or substance abuse, according to NAMI. That's almost 50%, which is quite scary to say the least.
Wow.
So any and all light that can be shed on that. It's amazing, right? I mean, it's just when you think about that, of course. One of the things that I noticed, and I don't know if you guys get a chance to actually visit 8west, which I'd like to do when I get there as well, which is another one of my stops, because I see that they actually have this job service where they're actually creating soaps and things like this, which I think is neat, because they're really looking for a hand up, not necessarily a handout. And I think sometimes people don't get that, you know, they assume a homeless person wants you to hand them money, and that's not necessarily the way it is, you know what I mean? That's what I found so interesting about your video. Your video can be interpreted in various different ways, depending on how you're looking at it and what you notice the first time, the second time, and the third time, which is really neat. One of the other really cool things, folks, that you guys should know about this, Take Me In, by the way, is the name of it, is the music itself. You really are a very finely tuned band. I don't know if you've heard that before, meaning you all work in sync so perfectly together. When you're playing and the sound that comes out, it fits. It fits well with the meaning and the message of what you had in that song, and other songs as well, as a matter of fact. I'm not sure if you've noticed that before, but kudos to you as far as that goes on that. To those that are listening in, you're quite welcome. To to those that have never heard of you before and are going to leave this show today and say, okay, I want to know more about these guys, and they go to your website, what would you recommend? If I asked you guys what the best song to date was you've ever done that they should listen to, meaning a novice, somebody who's never heard of you, what would you recommend and why? What song? Or what video? Or both, really?
I would say, well, we have one video released already. It's called Hear You Calling. It's the first single from our new album.
Yep.
And this one, we chose to go with this one first because it just kind of like encompasses the whole message and the purpose that we feel that we bring to the world. And it's just kind of the idea that, you know, there's if you're listening, for those who are listening and those who are aware in life, you know, there's so much magic happening around, so much positivity. You know, it's just an ability to open your eyes and see it and be a part of it. And so that really kind of encompasses those feelings and those ideals. So you can check it out on our website. It's at brokenstems.com.
You betcha. In fact, I'm going to have you guys just listen in and correct me. I'm going to read off all the different places that people can find you. I just want to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. As you just mentioned,
okay.
brokenstems.com is the website. You have a Facebook page, again, same name, The Broken Stems. Also, they can be found on iTunes, Reverb Nation, CD Baby, LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. You're on Twitter at The Broken Stems. I tried your Instagram. It wasn't working. Does that mean that you're currently not Instagramming, or?
Oh, no, we have Instagram. I think we might have just changed the handle. It should be Instagram/The Broken Stems.
Got it. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted you to talk about was, now you're listed on, I don't want to mispronounce it. Is it called Patreon? Because I know you guys were talking about doing a Patreon campaign. Now, is that still going on, or what is that exactly? If you want to talk about that, that's another aspect I didn't want to forget about.
It is, yeah, and it's a way, you know, it's a cool way to connect with us a little bit more, a little bit, you know, deeper. It's for people that are supporters of our music and like what we're doing and wanted to kind of get behind us. Patreon, you know, back in the day, you could be a patron of the arts, you know, with like the Medicis and Da Vinci, and you know, we're doing something that, you know, as of right now isn't really generating massive, you know, incomes or anything, but we still need to record and make videos and things like that.
Sure.
So it's a way to kind of subscribe into us, and you can, you know, basically it's kind of like a monthly donation, and there's different levels, you know, sort of similar to like a Kickstarter, crowdfunding type of thing. But the difference is it's ongoing, and rather than asking for, you know, a big, hey, you know, we want a $50 donation, and we'll give you a T-shirt and a hoodie or something like that. It can be smaller, like $1 or $2, and you know, a month, and we'll give you access to all of our songs and videos, and we can have back, you know, chats and you know, kind of talk and connect with you more.
Become a part of our journey, you know. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Exactly. Would you guys ever consider playing a film festival? I only ask because I'm involved with them all over the place. So I thought you guys would do really well on something like that. Yay, that wasn't even that hard. I didn't even have to push at them or anything.
No,
that's
absolutely.
Awesome.
We're down for any great
you
cause.
guys are awesome.
Anytime we can get in front of people. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's absolutely terrific. Now, before I forget, I don't want to forget, your next upcoming gig, if people want to go out and want to see you, where are you going to be at and when?
Well, actually, this Monday, if you're in San Diego, we're doing a release show of the video.
Right.
It's at 98 Bottles in Little Italy. It's going to be like a happy hour. And then also, you know, with that, we're going to release the video. 8 West will be there, and, you know, what they do is help homeless youth get off the streets and give them jobs and get them working back into society. We'll be there with the police, and they'll kind of be talking to people as well. And then we're going to play a small set as well for, you know, for the audience that's there. So, yeah, it should be, a fun day. Yeah.
I gotcha. Now, is there an entrance fee to get in, or do they need tickets for this, so they could just show up, or how does that work?
They can go on our website and they can sign up. There's not going to be a fee, but, you know, we're just kind of compiling this list for the day.
Yeah, it's free, but you can RSVP at brokenstems.com.
I gotcha. Okay,
or
good.
just show
I wanted
up.
to make sense of it.
We'll let you
Oh,
know.
just show up. Literally just show up as far as that goes. And then I'm guessing that on the 10th, so all of my listeners, because of course we're all on social media, so I presume on that date it'll be on YouTube or accessible in other places where I can just take my copy and throw it out to the world so everybody can see it, I presume. Meaning for those that can't attend that aren't in California? Okay, just making sure. I just wanted to make sure about that so I didn't screw it up.
Worldwide release happening on the 10th.
Awesome. I'm so excited about this. All right, the last thing I always do on my show is more so for the benefit of my listening audience, which is I get to tell my guests what I think of them. So this is my 60 seconds to tell you what I think of you in the amount of time that I've had you, which has been too short. And, folks, you should watch the live feed when I go to see him in person because I'm sure that it will be much more over the top and over the chain. These are my impressions of the broken stems. I'm always, always very excited when publicists or other people, in this case Jocelyn, approach me about helping to expose two different things. First of all, a meaning and a message within the course of helping people with mental illness. But most importantly, what I really like about the fact that you band, I want to say band of brothers, but there's a chick involved. So let's just say you band comes together and your chemistry and your creativity match and they're parallel to one another. You perform well, you sing well, you play well. What I think is neat, as I mentioned before, is you have this energy that you give off to your audience and they feed back into this, which I think is really cool. You have a very laid-back temperament, which I think is awesome. And most importantly, I can see you playing for the next 10 or 20 years because people gravitate to audiences that provide them with meaning and message, and they get them excited about believing in something. You guys have a really wonderful vibe to you, and I feel so lucky that you gave me 40 minutes of your time or whatever it was. I'm very excited at the chance to get a chance to. I'm going to send girls Andrew's way so we can end up getting hooked up with a girlfriend. Just kidding. Maybe not. We'll see when I come to San Diego. Because that's what nice girls do, what can I say? But most of all, like I said, it's not very often that I get an opportunity to reach out to the creative community all the time and let them know that they're appreciated so much just because if you didn't exist and you didn't play, you wouldn't be sending this very important message out to society. And again, like I said, I'm so very grateful, and I appreciate your time and your efforts. And I think you guys are wonderful, and I can't wait to meet you. Those are my impressions.
An absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
What can I say?
You're so well rehearsed and really looked. I appreciate you researched and knew a lot about it.
That's my job, darling. Yes. Well, yeah.
That we've done. It's very good.
Well, and I do. I try very hard. My hope is, I didn't build this audience overnight. This took almost 4 years, and this dance has taken a while. I mean, I'm a professional writer. I just happen to get into radio, and hopefully, by the end of this show, there will be thousands of people that are in the California listening area or other places to where they'll gravitate to you and to your music, and they're going to want to be a part of this lovely little dance that you do. At least that's my hope and expectation. I'm a huge supporter of indie people, and don't be surprised if I knock on your door for the film festivals or other things, because I'm making 4 films and I'm using a lot of musicians, so don't be surprised if you get knocked up on by me.
Please get in touch with us, especially when you're in San Diego too. We'll show you around.
Oh, without a doubt. I'll let you guys know. I'll send you an invitation, and I'll also go ahead and I'll private message you and kind of let you know my itinerary and all that good stuff. I will also, just so your fans know, about 2 hours after this show is completed, it's actually archived. So anybody can go back and listen at any given point in time. You have to come back on my show one more time because Jocelyn didn't get a chance to send me music. So you'd have to come back so I can play your music and people can hear you, all that good stuff. So about 2 hours thereafter, everybody will be able to listen in on this. I'll have the link up on my Facebook page and on my show page and all that good stuff. And on the 10th, I'll make sure that I go ahead and stream it live and all that good stuff. And good luck. I'm crossing my fingers that everything goes well for the 10th. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime, we'd be happy to join you again.
Aww.
And also anybody.
And next time, Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely. With Chelsea on too.
Okay. I would appreciate it.
If anybody is listening and goes to our Facebook page or anything like that, feel free to message us and hit us up, have a conversation. I mean, we'd love to connect and let you know, let us know what you think of anything or, whatever. We love connecting with people and with anybody that finds us and anything like that, let us know. We'd love to talk.
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt. And certainly I'll stay in contact with you guys in case I happen to hear anything, because I get people that come along all the time, and sometimes they're kind of a little ambivalent about reaching out to you directly and things like that. So I'll certainly stay in touch as far as that goes. And, hey, thanks again, you guys, for everything. I appreciate you taking the time. Sorry for the confusion in the beginning. I'm glad we connected, though.
No worries.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks so much, Cindy. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you very much, my dear. You guys have a great time. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
All right, dear.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that was the broken stems, and weren't they fabulous? Like I said, and I meant every single thing and every single word of that. You guys are going to be just amazed when you get the chance to see it. Again, the video is called Take Me In. Its official release is going to be on October 10th, which is the World Mental Health Awareness Day. And like I mentioned, there's a premiere party if you're in the San Diego or surrounding area. It's from 6 to 9 o'clock. Don't necessarily need tickets per se. They said you can just show up, and it's at 98 bottles. I want to make sure that I show, or I should say go through all their information one more time. The website is brokenstems.com. They are on Facebook as well, The Broken Stems. iTunes, Reverb Nation, CD Baby, LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. They're on Twitter at The Broken Stems, and also the Patreon campaign they were talking about where you were funding them. That's spelled Patreon.com. You can go ahead and go on there and type in The Broken Stems. And lastly, I want to make sure that I, again, reiterate that they are in partnership with a company called 8west.org. You can find them. Their website is 8west.org. They are on Twitter at 8westusa. Their Facebook, same name, 8westusa, as well as their Instagram. And you can also check out certain things they've done on YouTube as well. And just to reiterate, 8West is an actual, not only is it a job program with supportive housing and critical care, they also help the homeless and all of those that are affected by mental health issues in order to get them back on their feet. If you are in the area, on Tuesday they provide a shelter in North Park. Friday, they have a weekly outreach in Ocean Beach. And, of course, as I mentioned, they do a program where they actually are creating and selling things like organic soaps, that is one of the things that I'll be checking out, of course, when I go into the San Diego area. I wanted to make sure that I did not forget to send out a very huge thank you so much to Jocelyn Wallace with AichG. That is her firm. That is her company. Without Jocelyn, myself and the Broken Stems would not have aligned ourselves. So I thank you so much, Jocelyn, for all of your hard work in orchestrating this. Good luck with the release, of course. Obviously, it goes without saying. I've reiterated it once. I'll say it one more time. World Health Mental Awareness Day is October 10th. I can't tell you what that means to myself, yesterday's guest, Lynn, and so many of us, so many of us, how important and vital it is to keep awareness and education and advocacy and research alive and well for mental health patients all across the world. So I implore you to not only take in their video, but to do all and any and all steps necessary to try to help those of us who are fighting that daily battle. Again, one more time, thanks so much to the Broken Stems. Thanks so much to my listening audience. And for my babbling, I'm so sorry for the first couple of minutes. Sorry again to the band today. I didn't mean to intentionally make it difficult for them. As I said, make sure you keep an eye on my wall today or else on the Facebook page for Sin's Check Corner to try to see if we can solidify my Saturday interview. Either way, I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. Stay out of the raindrops, and we'll talk to you soon.
What you doing? Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. By singing dog. By goal.
I pronounce you.
By wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really?
Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figured out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.
What you doing?
Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. By singing dog. By goal.
I pronounce you.
By wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really?
Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figured out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.